Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. We're going to continue on page 10, How Good It Is to Be Here Together, page 10. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Shabbat Shalom. Hopefully it is good to come out of the cold, to come into our warm space of Shabbat. If you have not yet met Ashira Stevens, Ashira is our rabbinic intern this year from Hebrew College, and 5 months away from getting your eye in Rabbi?
Yes, June 4th, 2023.
Very exciting. And of course, welcome back to Michael McLaughlin, helping us with music this evening. We hope you will add your voices as well. We have actually reenacted a New England tradition today, which is during our service, we'll be saying the blessing for the new month of Shvat, which contains the holiday Tu B'Shvat, the holiday of our trees. And it is tradition in New England, as this is really the official start to spring in Israel, for it to snow here. So we got a little snow. We're ready for Tu B'Shvat. Maybe not quite ready to plant, but there's always hope in spring to come. It is an honor to invite Cheryl and Jim Nagel to bless our Shabbat candles this evening, to bring in the light of Shabbat on page 2.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which we live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Do we light first? Or yeah.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you both. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu continue on page 24 as we welcome in the Shabbat messengers of peace, just as we welcome in one another. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ohem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sechem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei We'll turn back now to page 13 for Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming in Shabbat with the words of the Psalms. And again, it gives us a little extra time, a little extra space to leave our week behind before our call to prayer, to take this time to enter into Shabbat. And Rabbi Mike and I have been introducing this new melody. It's always good to sing a new melody for Psalm 96 because the words are Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, sing unto God a new song. Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shir Ladonai, Kol haaretz, Shir Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Masumim Beyom Yeshuato. Sing to Adonai, all the earth. We come together, uniting our voices as we celebrate creation, celebrate welcoming in the Shabbat bride. We'll continue on page 20 with L'chadodi, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we reach the last verse, if you are able, we invite you to rise and face the doors to bring in Shabbat. Leave it to Beth David to add another musical part that I've never heard anywhere else. So thank you for the call and response. We'll remain standing and turn to page 26 for Chatzi Kaddish. And as this is a bridge, I just wanted to make a note, if you didn't pick up the supplement page on your way in, maybe we can pass those around. Page 26. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala bagala uv'izman kariv v'yimeru Amen Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach Le'olam olam le'amayah v'yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitrama v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal, shemei dekudsha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'yimeru, amen. We'll begin our call to prayer with English words calling us into this moment. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yadai, let's join together in the English of Ma'ariv Aravim on the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, HaMa'ariv Aravim. We'll continue on page 32 together. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. We'll continue with Ve'ahavta. Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לפניך, ודיברת בם. בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Emet. We'll continue on page 40. There's always a little disconnect when we sing our Song of the Sea when the week's Torah portion, we are still enslaved. And we'll hear more when Ashira teaches us later in our service about this week's Torah portion. But Michamocha is in our liturgy all the time as we always point our eyes to these words that helped us cross the sea to the promised land. So we'll join together, page 40. Kivada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We'll continue with our prayer for safety and shelter on page 42 as darkness is around us. You can find some English words to Hashkivenu on your supplement, and you'll recognize this melody from the High Holy Days this year. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Continue on page 44. Although it's a German melody, you can imagine we're kind of on the streets of Europe with the accordion. And we'll sing together our song which celebrates Shabbat. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamin asa Adonai, asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashi shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. And on the seventh day, God ceased from work and was refreshed. We'll turn now to page 46 as we enter into our tefillah, our Amidah, and we'll begin together and pause for some moments to offer the prayers from our hearts. Ashira is going to lead us with the opening meditative words on page 46. If you're able, please rise.
Adonai, Sefatayv Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sefatayv Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sefatayv Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, Leman Shemo ve'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanata le'achayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol, Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We'll continue silently and invite you to be seated when you're ready. Come back together on page 62. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart to be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer.
Yehiyu leratzoni refi vehegyon libi lefanecha. Yehiyu leratzoni refi vehegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Begoali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Begoali. Yehiyu leratzoni
We'll continue now with our prayer for health and healing. You can find Misha Berach on page 253 as we take this moment in our service to pray for any loved ones who are ill. We are especially thinking of these members of our Temple family: Colin Monroe, Enrico Mascaro, Benjamin Horowitz, Bradley Dichter, Mateo Goldman, Toby Weiner, Asya Rushavskaya, Eileen Arnone, Jean Sands, Roseanne Cohen, Tom Fiorino, Carolyn Weil, Stephen Driscoll, Jerry Spingarn, Caroline Spingarn, Beth Gottlieb, Kirby Druffel, Joseph Sands, Ruth Brofsky, Samantha Weiner, Ethel Sharanow, Ria Rebecca, Ida Kublin, Sam Velika. If there are other names that you were thinking of, you may share them with us.
Lisa Taub Stevens and
Mishavera avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find and let us say, Amen. Ishevera imotenu mekor Abraham lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Still getting used to the mic. This week's Torah portion, Va'era, takes us from God reintroducing God's true name all the way through the first 7 plagues. After God reminds Moses of God's true name, God instructs Moses to tell the Israelites that God has heard their cries and intends to free them from their enslavement. When Moses shares this good news with the Israelites, they do not listen to him because their spirits are so utterly crushed from their experience of slavery. God then instructs Moses to go to Pharaoh to demand that he let the Israelites go. Much like when God first called to Moses from the burning bush, Moses resists this command, saying to God in Exodus chapter 6, verse 12, "Look, the Israelites did not listen to me. How will Pharaoh listen to me, I of uncircumcised lips?" I cannot help but relate to Moses' excuses. Not knowing what to say or feeling like I am unable to speak in a particular situation is a really familiar experience. I hear it is for a lot of you too. Often I find that I want to say just the right thing in just the right way, and my quest for the perfect words and delivery leads me to feel incapable of saying anything at all. I remembered Moses' struggles to speak this past summer when I was working as a student chaplain at Brigham and Women's Hospital. My first 2 weeks at the hospital were spent in training with my cohort of student chaplains. Our educator, Sister Maureen, told us that sometimes we would need to offer patients spontaneous prayer. That is, we would not recite a specific prayer text from a particular faith tradition, but we would be expected to offer original words right in the moment, straight from our hearts. Most of us had little to no experience with spontaneous prayer, and we all worried about what we would say and about not having the right words. One of my colleagues, Holly, brought up this anxiety over lunch, and she asked what we might say and how we knew what to say. Another colleague quickly responded with truly beautiful words asking for strength and healing. We all offered some other ideas of appropriate phrases and wishes, and Holly was so impressed that someone could just weave those intentions together on demand that she pulled out her phone and asked if we would all record a spontaneous prayer so that she could practice. When we later gathered for class with Sister Maureen, we told her how we had supported Holly and talked about feeling nervous about spontaneous prayer. Maureen was amused, but not entirely pleased. She reiterated her instruction for us to enter patient rooms without books, without scripts, and I must admit, it felt terrifying. When I told a friend who had previously worked as a student chaplain about my worries, he shared that he had a practice of reciting, "Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise," before entering patient rooms. He explained to me that saying these words helped to ground him and helped him to trust that the right words would come. I tried this myself, especially early in the summer, or when I knew I was going into a potentially difficult situation. Although I did not recite the verse for every visit throughout the summer, I did feel more grounded and at ease when I said it. We recite these same words, just as we did tonight, at the beginning of our Amidah as a way to ask for the ability to speak to God. Perhaps the people who crafted our Amidah also struggled with what to say in their personal prayers and used this verse as a sort of script to get them started. Our words matter when we enter our Amidah, and my words mattered when I entered patient rooms this summer. Surely what Moses said to Pharaoh mattered. When I imagine Moses' reaction to God's command to go speak to Pharaoh, I think Moses must have been worried about saying the right words in the right way. The experience of the Israelites disregarding his words must have heightened his anxiety. But did Moses' words really matter? Did that really make the difference? Moses' encounters with Pharaoh show that he actually does not say all that much to Pharaoh. Moses asks that Pharaoh let the people go, warns Pharaoh about the consequences for not doing it, and he agrees to Pharaoh's requests that he ask God to stop certain plagues. That's it. He does not make a lengthy, persuasive argument, nor does he have a long, poetic soliloquy. Perhaps God chose Moses for a reason other than his public speaking skills. What was that reason? I believe that as important as Moses' words were, they only were made truly effective by Moses being physically present with Pharaoh when he spoke. Moses had to say something when he went to Pharaoh, just as I had to say something when I went into a patient's room. And Moses did say something. But in addition to his words, he himself stood in front of Pharaoh when he spoke. If it were the case that only his words mattered, Moses could have written a letter or sent a messenger. What was necessary for liberating the Israelites was that Moses stood before Pharaoh and spoke. Our presence is one of the most meaningful gifts we can offer each other. Although our words do matter, it is the powerful combination of our words and our presence that truly brings blessing to others. It wasn't easy for Moses to go before Pharaoh, just as it was not easy for Holly or any of us to enter a patient's room without planning our words in advance. However, we gained confidence in our ability to be present with patients and trust that the right words would come if they were needed. And so too, Moses gained confidence in his ability to stand before Pharaoh and say what was necessary to lead the people to freedom. Now, as I said at the beginning, we all have these moments when we feel inadequate, and that's normal and totally human. So let's draw on the story of Moses and on our own personal experiences, knowing that we can be equal to the challenge when we bring our full self forward. This becomes much easier when we have friends and family and loved ones to help us through. This isn't just a Jewish teaching. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, the most precious gift we can offer others is our presence. When mindfulness embraces those we love, they will bloom like flowers. This Shabbat, let's rededicate ourselves to offering the gift of our presence to our loved ones and to our community, so that together we might blossom and be made whole. Shabbat Shalom.
Ken Yehiratzon, may it be so. Thank you, Asherah, for giving us lots to think about and reminding us about the importance of our presence with each other. You can continue to celebrate Shabbat here at Temple Beth David at 10 a.m. tomorrow. We are having a community Shabbat service, which means that it's open to everyone, all ages, here in the sanctuary. Rabbi Michael will be leading along with me. We'll have a Torah service as well, some chanting, and we're going to be actually studying about why the Israelites did not listen. So we now know that Moses spoke, but why did the Israelites not listen? So we'll be looking at that part of the Torah and singing together. There'll be some light food after as well. We are still looking for a greeter at the doors for tomorrow morning. So if you're planning to come and you would be open to fulfilling that important role, we would be grateful. You can let me know. Thank you to Connie Rizzoli for greeting us tonight. I believe Allison Miller, you were the usher and sponsoring our oneg. Thank you. On the way out, there will be some oneg food in the hallway here. Hopefully you got the message that you need to get the things from the refrigerator because it's back there. You can get some help. Thank you, Brandon, for live streaming our service as well. And again, Michael for piano and accordion. We are going to move into our concluding prayers. Oh, of course, read your weekly shofar email for everything else. By the way, you may have noticed Brett changed the look. So this is the new and improved weekly shofar. So if you like it, let him know. But again, lots going on. Next Friday night, Sisterhood will be helping to lead our Shabbat service. Cantor Louise Treitman will be here with us for music. And do take a look as Shabbat Babayit, Shabbat in the Home, is returning in February. But if you want to participate or host, you need to sign up soon so we can match different families. So let me know if you have any questions. We're going to turn now, as I mentioned earlier, to add one more prayer, the prayer for the new month on page 261. And I'll invite you to please rise. Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu velohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month of Shabbat bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good. Rosh Chodesh Shabbat Yeh B'Yom Sheni. The new month of Shabbat will begin Sunday evening into Monday. We can always hope, as Frog and Toad like to say, that spring is around the corner. We'll turn now to page 282 for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, l'atei gedula l'yotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, vegor aleinu echol amonam, va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom Hayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
We'll remain standing and turn to page 291 in the words of the poet Hannes Senesh. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We are especially remembering these members of our community, members of our families who have passed away in recent weeks. We are remembering David Lozer, husband of Jody, father and father-in-law of Sarah and Brett Hausler. Gloria Weller, mother of Dan Weller, mother-in-law of Lisa Fasberg Weller, and grandmother of Sophie. And we are remembering these loved ones whose yahrzeit, whose anniversary of death occur this week. Annie Ackerman, Donald Bavli, Nathaniel Brody, the second president of Temple Beth David, Zygmunt Elk, Abraham Glasgow, Deborah Goldberg, Max Gordet, Francis Grosser, Marcel Hegemie Egbert, Ada Just, Alan I. Lurie, Daniel Marchand, Frida Merkin, Max Orenstein, Stuart Rosenberg, Morris Silverlieb, Eileen B. Stryer, Ruth Barbara Warnick, Claire Watsky, Warren Widrich. If there are other names you are remembering, you may share them with us. You can find Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael v'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. We're going to remain standing and turn back to page 5 before we conclude with, we'll add our Shabbat blessings of Kiddush and Motzi. Would you like to lead us in Kiddush? Do you start or do you start And as Ashira leads us, welcome to your son Caleb as well. And we share something in common, which is that our teenage sons have exceeded our height. So
I am rapidly becoming the shortest person in my household. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom tehilah lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziyat Mitzrayim ki banu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat
Amen. L'chaim. Not yet, Michael. All right, yeah, I'm just going to leave this closed because we'll bring it outside, but we'll bless in here. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom. We are going to end with words of peace. I believe this melody is out of Nashville, Tennessee. Does that sound right to you, Michael? I think so. Yes. Well, you'll hear it. We'll ask that God, who makes peace above, bring peace here amongst all of us. Ose shalom imromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom imromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom imromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom.